Hey, I'm Amanda from Trifecta Fitness. We're proud to be Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
For every veteran, there is a story about a calling to serve, to fight for the freedoms of the American people. And every story has a struggle, a sacrifice, and invisible wounds. Warrior Watts programs help veterans recover from PTSD and invisible wounds through exercise, nutrition, and connecting with other veteran leaders. It is estimated that 22 veterans die each day by suicide, and another 30 veterans die each day by substance abuse. These are preventable deaths. Warrior Watt is committed to fighting PTSD through fitness, nutrition, and community.
All right. Welcome back. MisFitNation. The MisFitNation show. We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the MisFitNation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the MisFitNation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the MisFitNation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, Stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the MisFitNation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_MisFitNation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome back to the MisFitNation show. It's our first show back in studio in Clarksville. Thank you for taking some of your time tonight on a Sunday night from wherever you are in the world to hang out with us. Hopefully some of you got to watch the U.S. women's national team beat Australia 2-1 today. Got to see the NASCAR race, and Christopher Bell won that race. As long as it's not Joey Logano, is our motto here at the MisFitNation. So it's a good race when he does not win and does not cause havoc. Today we have a couple items of grief to share with you. We have 2 officers from the Virginia Beach Police Department end of watch Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. Police Officer Cameron Gervin and Police Officer Christopher Reese. They were conducting a traffic stop in Sylvan Court, and the car had expired plate and executed traffic stop. During the traffic stop, the officers asked the subject to exit the vehicle. He refused. He exited the vehicle. They fought. The subject pulled out a weapon, shot both officers. While they were incapacitated, he stood over them, shot them both again, took off, and he was found in an off building off to the side of a self-inflicted gunshot wound sometime later. So keep the Virginia Beach Police Department, the families of Officer Gervin and Reese in your thoughts and prayers. And we also lost a brother to the darkness. Damar Sandoval, U.S. military veteran, was missing for a week from February 14th to February 21st, and he was found deceased of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest. So if you're feeling down, you're feeling out, you hear it on our intro every week. Do not give in to the darkness. Call someone, reach out, use your 5-1, call 988, take option 1. You are important. You will be missed. Tonight we have a good one. Our guest is coming all the way from Malaysia tonight. She's the founder of Nic Nierras Wholistic Lifestyle, a coaching platform dedicated to helping individuals achieve balance, success, and inner peace through holistic methods. So without further ado, let's welcome Nic Nierras to the MisFitNation show. Welcome, Nic.
Hi, Rich. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. Wow, it is evening on your side, and it's the Monday morning for me right here in Malaysia. So thank you to technology. This is possible.
Yes, it is. It's like I'm talking in the future. I love when I do this and talk to people on your side of the world. I wish you guys can tell me lottery numbers. It'd help out a lot.
Yeah, I wish I could ask the Australians that too, because they're like 2 hours earlier.
See that?
Yeah.
So, Nic, I gave a 2-sentence introduction about you. If you don't mind, tell the Misfit Nation a little bit more about you, from as far back as you want to go to how we got here.
I love it. I love the name of your show, MisFitNation, because I've always felt like an outcast, or that's equivalent to a misfit.
Yes.
So growing up, it's always been, it's ingrained in my head by my father, rather, that, we don't come from that much of a background. So for him, education is key. Therefore, study and then get good grades, get good paycheck so that you can be somebody. So that I conformed to that notion, that narrative, until I think when I was 27. So I said, okay, I wanted to plan everything out. So I planned everything out until 30. And then, of course, life isn't linear and things happen. I was flying high, got my career and all from a chartered accountancy. And then late 20s, I experienced my divorce, and then COVID happened. So that kind of spiraled everything downhill. But it was more for me to rebuild everything up from the ground. So it is a bit more of a very humble beginning for me, but life also humbled me in a way that, okay, because I kind of operated in a very selfish, but then non-people pleasing way. And when I got to my own spiritual awakening, I would say, that's when I started to look within. And I asked myself, who am I? If I were to strip all of these accolades, all of these titles, who am I at the core? So that's when I started looking within. And fast forward, I started my own show called You're Worthless, because that's what I kept telling myself. I'm worthless. So I'm not only good yes, I was good in my studies. And then I did achieve some success in my work. But then what about love? The love department. And then when I got to a very toxic job environment, the last couple of corporate jobs that I had, people kept on saying to me, hey, Nic, it's like you're never enough. They don't say it to me straight to my face, but every work that I do, I felt undervalued. I felt micromanaged. And every time I kept giving my best, it seems like it's just never enough. So that's when I tried looking everything. I dismantled all of my beliefs. And right now, as we speak, rebuilding and pivoted to new career. So yeah, that is a little bit about my journey so far.
And in life, we all go through those little pivots where we make changes. I think you made more than a pivot. You made almost a 180. You did something completely different than what you were doing, from being an accountant to now a soulful coach. redefining your success and fulfillment in this great world, crazy world with which we live in. And then you like to commute to work from Malaysia to New York. So I mean, that's an insane travel schedule.
Well, it's very extreme, Rich. But I would say that it is a challenge for me because the U.S. I've always okay. So I grew up in Malaysia all my life, yeah, and I've been exposed to the Western culture since I was a kid. So it's always very interesting to me, like how the Western culture move. And Malaysia, it is very much influenced by the British culturally. Our English is also British English, so it's something that is something I would love to see and explore. And I am a person who, if I put like a target, I don't know how, no matter how I'm going to get it, I'm going to try and, pursue that and get it. So usually growing up, I told this to myself, okay, Nick, if you work hard enough, you'll be able to get whatever it is that you dream of. But then when you go to your 20s and your 30s, it's not like that, because the world isn't fair. What we do is basically just take whatever that's coming at us and see, and if you can transmute the pain into power, that's the real key right there. That's the real juice. I mean, it's easier said than done, but there are steps that we can go towards that direction and that path.
Exactly. And it's better when you have a mindset like you do now. I think if you can go to your past self and look forward and say, I'm going to do this is going to happen, I know what I'm going to do. Everyone had that crystal ball, like we talked about the lottery earlier. If we had that crystal ball to do things, everything would be easier. But having a mindset that says, you may kick me back, but I'm going to keep moving forward, that helps you out in more ways than one.
Exactly, Rich. And we always imagine, at least I have always imagined, that I want to get to a place, like very simple. If I want to I want to purchase something. Okay, I purchased something, and then what? I've always attached that meaning of purchasing something as me having accomplished something. But then I never ask myself, who am I in the process? Who did I become in the process of achieving that? So actually, it's the character that is built when you're on that journey. Yes, the destination, which is who you've become, or the status, or what you're feeling, and also people are actually after that feeling when you achieve something. So if you achieve a certain, I would say, I'm just going to put it back to me, an example. When you get to a speaking event, let's say I would love to be speaking at, for example, a TEDx platform, right? So if you get there, who do you become in the process of getting there? So, but most people, me included, when I was a kid, growing up, I don't know that, because you get more satisfaction in that, through that process, just like you're working out, you get your 6 packs, your 8 packs after that. That's a bonus,
right? Or a case. It depends on what you're doing in there.
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
So we talked about your pivots, we talked about that stuff, and then as you moved into this new goal, new career, many people struggle with imposter syndrome and self-doubt. What strategies do you teach to help people overcome these internal barriers? Because you definitely have overcome them.
So thank you for asking that, Rich. So my approach is the 3-part: mind, body, and soul. So mind, because 95% of our behavior and of our lives is controlled by our subconscious. So 24/7 is recording. So whenever you drive to work, you don't actually know that you're actually driving to work, because your mind, it's already programmed that way. So consciously, we're talking like right now, it is very conscious. So if you imagine growing up, somebody has told you before, you like dancing or you like singing, right? And somebody has told you, hey, you actually suck at dancing. I don't really like the way you sound or the way you sing. It is horrible. So imagine how does that make somebody, a 5-year-old will feel whenever they've been asked to do something, but imagine this, they love it, yeah? And they love doing it, and it makes them joy, it brings them joy, brings them bliss. But then when once they're told that way, hey, you're horrible and that is horrendous, yada yada yada, it makes them believe that they are such, even though they have potential talent, even though what they could do is actually get hired or get coached by somebody and then explore and peel the layers. Okay, what is it that you are? Do you really think that you're worthless in that department of yours? So to me, my number one approach, there are 3 steps. First thing, you have to understand and know inherently that you are worthy and that you are enough. And that means uncovering your subconscious programming, going to the root cause and doing regression analysis. So I'm going to the technical bit of the hypnotherapy session, but bear with me for a bit. It's because when you get to the root cause of an issue, people will then understand how the issue come about today. So if you think about something, if you trace back the root of, I would say, cancer, let's just put it that way, very simple analogy. Cancer has always been there and it's mutated because of your lifestyle, right? Of course, I'm not a medical expert, yes, but everybody has cancer cells. So now if you don't take care of the environment, either it's aiding the cancer cells to, multiply, or it's keeping it at bay. So if you adhere to some steps or some lifestyle that supports that behavior, that supports that metastasizing, how do I say this? Metastasizing way of a cancer cell, then it's going to grow exponentially, right? And if you take care, simple, everybody forgets about this. Smoking. Now, I don't want to go too detailed into smoking, alcohols, and whatnot, because these are sub-rooted issue that I've worked with my clients. Mostly, it's the way they've been brought up. So what I'm trying to say here, if you don't know the root cause of an issue, it's very hard for you to understand it and then take steps to reframe and flip the script. Now, that's the number one part. Regression, cognitive behavioral, and also hypnosis. So I'm going to talk about hypnosis in a bit more. So the second step is actually realizing, once you've understood that you are worthy and that you're enough, because we've flipped the script through subconscious reprogramming. We transform your belief to I am not enough to yes, I'm worthy and enough of love, of success, of all the blessings that the universe has to provide for me. The second part is believing that, aligning happy mind, happy heart, and happy soul, that you are abundant and you bringing in that happy wealth. Now, wealth can be equivalent to your success that you have. Everybody has their own definition. So wealth for somebody is, just waking up. You have your simplest thing. You wake up on a nice fluffy bed. You have your coffee, and then you can see the sunlight. Right now in Malaysia, we don't have the 4 season. I know in the US, you guys is still winter turning into spring, yeah. And it's cold, and I love the cold, but maybe I love the tropical temperature. So now, if you align your mind, your heart, and your soul, Rich, what happens? You start increasing or raising your vibration. When you raise your vibration, because or for the people listening right now, everything is energy. So like attract likes, right? So if you've already, number one, understood the issue and then you dismantle all of your beliefs, mind, heart, and soul, align them, and curate your lifestyle, that equates to your own wealth. Now, your own wealth could be everything. Could be anything from having your six packs, but then waking up in the morning at your designated time, working in the corporate or starting your own business in your own terms. So that's the three simplified steps. Number one, knowing that you're worthy and you're enough, aligning your mind, heart, and soul. And number three, automatically, naturally, you attract your wealth and abundance into your life.
Awesome. Got two questions from the audience already in here, so I'll get them up here before you answer.
Wow.
Before I ask them. Here we go. All right. So the first one is from Be the Pilot Maverick. You talk about breaking free from limiting beliefs. What's one powerful technique you recommend for starting that process?
Well, thank you. Be the Pilot Maverick. So that reminded me of Tom Cruise. Yeah. So if we're going to talk about the work that I do, I believe in the power of hypnosis. Yeah. So I just want to also break it down to people. Hypnosis is not what you see in the movie. It's not that you don't have complete control over yourself. In fact, you do. It is actually just the relaxation of the nervous system. So before going to bed, you go through these stages, your theta, your beta, and then you go to deep sleep, right? And it's almost like in a dream state. So why hypnosis is so powerful from to help you break limiting beliefs is because it goes straight to your subconscious. So say you're having a session with me. We're going to do some suggestibility tests, and we're going to show that actually every human being, first, they must be open to it, open to suggestibility. And when you say, I'm not sure if you can't demonstrate that with you right now, Rich. If you could put your hand out like this, right in front of you, and then you can turn it around to the longest that the furthest that you can turn it to. Yes. So if you can see, yeah, that one towards your guitar. So if you just said in your mind, hey, I'm gonna turn my hand around up until the frame, or perhaps 20% further than where you've placed your hand before. Okay, so now imagine this. Just close your eyes for a bit, and then imagine and feel that you've actually achieved that. And 1 and 2 and 3. Rich, you are powerful, and you can stretch your hand towards the frame, and then do it.
Or I'll fall into my computer.
So did you do it? Did you?
I had it back there. I touched the frame.
Well, yeah, see, exactly. So now this is Be the Pilot Maverick. What I'm showing you is actually suggestibility test. Now we have all kinds of suggestibility that shows people, hey, you can actually, your mind, if it's told correctly, you can actually reframe it. So breaking down limiting beliefs is important. And the way hypnosis is a crucial part of it is because we get you into relaxation stage. Now, when you go to relaxation in deep sleep, but just before going to deep sleep, whatever that's been asked during the therapy or during the session, your conscious mind isn't against them. Now, people tend to reason when they're in their waking state, right? Hey, but so, why do you think that you start smoking? Oh, because consciously you think of something. But when you're in subconscious, which is hypnotic stage, it comes up. Oh, because I've seen my mother done that before. Now we're gonna connect that. Why did your mother do that? So we're gonna go down into that at hypnosis stage. And then to answer you, one strong technique, if you're working with me or any other hypnotherapist out there, therapist, RTT, that's that. But for me, Rich, I have, I would say and recommend to you, you can download my free hypnosis audio that is actually integrated with mindfulness. So when you're feeling down, it gets you into a relaxed state, and then we target each one. What is it that you are working towards? So if it's imposter syndrome, if it's maintaining your weight, or you can't seem to have a very good hold of your weight, stopping alcoholic addiction behavior, speaking in front of the public, and then, or just, having this nervous or anxiety to every interview that you try to attend to.
Awesome.
So, yes.
Be the pilot Maverick. I hope that answered your question. And we have another one popping up here. So Mav, tell Goose we said hello. And here's our next question. At Healing Journey 42, was there a defining moment that pushed you towards this new path? Do you feel like you are now helping others while also healing yourself, I guess?
Healing Journey 42. Thank you so much. Yes, there is a defining moment that pushed me toward this new path. So, okay, so we're gonna go back, trace back to my story. So growing up, 17, I left home when I was 17. It's a full circle moment for me because right now I'm back in my parents' place. But 17, I left home, all because I wanted to feel the freedom, to have that freedom. So what did I do? I said to myself, okay, let me enroll in a professional qualification that allows, that every industry would want, that I would not be able to, every industry would want to hire me. So hiring me means, okay, what is dispensable at the time now? Don't talk about AI right now. Yeah. So accounts. Everybody needs an account. Whether you are somebody who's selling the roof, you need an account to take care, for somebody to take care of your accounts, or a chair, lamp, or whatever, right? Services, you need an accountant. And then I said to myself, okay, let me do that. Let me get that qualification and let me try different industries. So I did. I went, and for me at the time, I tied my self-worth to what I can achieve. And that could be very, very, it's proven me very detrimental, because if I don't get something that I wanted, let's say if I want to buy a house, or if I want to purchase my own luxury, my very first luxury vehicle, if I don't get it, what would that amount to me? What would I amount to? So I had this checklist in my life that I wanted to achieve between 20 to 30. Now, mind you, Rich, I did achieve this checklist, and that's buying a house, having a target, exceeded my target savings, purchased my car, climbing the corporate ladder. I did climb, but I didn't account for life being not so linear. So I said to myself, okay, by 30, I'm on track, right? Being an accountant, saying to myself, I'm on track. I'm going to achieve all of this. By 27, I met my ex-husband, and there is no bad mouthing here. Yeah, because I've come to understand that it is actually people, there's a reason why people act certain way. And while I'm still in my healing journey, when any relationship falls apart, it's not because of one party, it's two parties. It's two people. So both played a part in it. So we got together, but then it was super fast. We didn't get to know each other that well. And life humbled us with some differences in our the way we lived our lives then. And I said to myself and to him, hey, I don't think this is going to work out. I think it's best that we separate. So at the time, he was very, very supportive of my journey, of my career, and we were really best friends to each other. Now, I don't know if he's gonna watch this. Probably best friends to each other. We were supporting each other, like pushing each other to the, hey, you can actually go for this job and apply and get, a little bit more in terms of your salary and whatnot. And then things happened in the relationship and we decided to separate. Now, that eventually led to a divorce. So when that happened, because I've given everything, so before this union, a lot of my friends has already told me, Nick, I think you're going too fast. This is not you. If we were to check or to see, you're probably the last one to get married here because of your, I know you're a happy-go-lucky person, but I said, when you know. So this is also one thing that I've learned. Don't ever beat yourself up right now because of the decision that you made 5 or 10 years ago, because you've only known so much at the time. And you've taken the decision based on the risk, the risk that you've calculated, or all of the parameters that you've had in place. Now, because I am an accountant, risk is always something that's in the back of my head. What is my exit strategy? Now, I don't want to say nobody goes into a marriage thinking or imagining that they're going to get divorced, right? It's not that. But then you have, at least for me, if shit hits, excuse my language, if it does hit the fan, what will I do? Where can I go? Where can I pivot? But then it's going to be a freaking painful journey then. It's going to feel like, you're a lorry or your heart just shattered, into million pieces. Now, that started my humbling. It's like the universe humbling me. Okay, Nick, life doesn't go your way. And you spent a lot in the wedding, but you just have to put it on the side, COVID happened. That was in 2019. I got divorced. That was my first time not being in a long-term relationship. So that's the first time of me having to sit with myself during COVID. I didn't grieve before, after I got divorced. So what I went and I joined all types of dancing classes just to run away from the problem. But guess what, Rich? Unless you face your fear, it's still going to keep haunting you, So I focused all of my might, my energy into work. At the time, I was at one of the prestigious accounting firm in the world. And I said, okay, if the love department is not going to help me, I'm not going to achieve it. I'm not going to attain success in that. Let me do what I do best, studying and working. So I focus all of my energy into work. And that too was the start of me having my burnout. Why? Because I'm a person that I kept on doubling down on the mantra. If I put 2000% at my work, I am going to shine and people are going to see me and it's just going to come naturally. No, it doesn't happen that way, because you have to understand, at least what I told myself, Nick, there's always somebody who's going to be smarter than you, that has a lot more experience than you are. But then one thing, you need to also remember that you are unique. So I went with the former mindset that whatever I do, keep on doubling down. It didn't happen that way. So 2.5 years after that, the first year I was getting promoted. Between the in the span of 8 months, I got promoted to assistant manager, and then a year after, I got promoted to another one level higher in my role. So I thought I was flying. Oh, hey, this is me. This is where I'm meant to be. I'm gonna put the love department on the side. had to take 2 months of sabbatical leave because my mental health was so affected. I was seconded to, I think, 3 different projects where the demands were ridiculous. I was pulling all-nighters, and whatever that I kept giving or presenting to my boss and my client, they were all shut down. You know, you have, I'm sure people can relate to this when you're presenting something and you're with a group of team, right? You're leading, and then you there and then you get bashed by your own superior, and you've spent so much time building your credibility in front of your juniors, and then when you get to that point that you've actually given your best and it's not the best, in fact you get blamed for taking certain decision, making certain decision, taking certain action. What will that do to your self-confidence? You feel that you're actually worth nothing, even though you've attained all of these accolades throughout your life, even though you've taken steps that you've minimized the risk of taking a wrong decision, of making a wrong decision. So if you are that kind of environment, or that's what you're hearing every day, day in and day out, my bet is that you'll feel pretty worthless. And I felt that. So then I started looking within, like, who the hell am I if I were to take all of this? Do I want to keep succumbing myself to this judgment or the projections that people put onto me? Am I really these things? I don't think so, you know? So that's actually the pivotal moment for me, my divorce and also my toxic work environment at the time. And I remember one time, so I went into different modalities before going into coaching. Rich, I even go into astrology, astronomy, tarot card readings, name it, energy healing, you name it. And one person, a very he's a very dear friend of mine, he said this one thing to me: Nic, wherever that you're gonna go after this, I asked him, because I was still not believing the notion that, hey, I'm not, there's something here. I still, maybe this is a bad environment for me. This is a bad corporation. He said, Nic, you just need to love yourself. And I said, what the heck are you talking about? I take myself to, salons. I take myself to massages. Yeah, but you need to love yourself. He repeated that 4 times. And I'm like, what the heck is loving myself mean? Fast forward later, 4 years afterwards, it just means that heeding to what your body, your mind, and your soul is telling you. Whatever it is that I'm trying to do, fighting against the living life in my own terms that I think that is a successful way, that is not the way. It's because I'm trying to prove myself of my success, of my worth through attaining all of this, rather than knowing and believing that I am worthy and enough just by being here. I take up space, so that's why I'm a matter. So therefore I matter. So yeah.
That was a very long answer, but thank you.
Yeah, I tend to go a little bit of off tangent, so I apologize. But then deep. yeah.
And most a lot of people in the audience are veterans, of course, so they understand a lot of what you're saying. They're trying to find what to do with themselves after something changes in life. And for every one of us that joined the service, there's a day where that ends. As soon as you raise your right hand to join the military, there's an end date where you have to do something different, no matter if it's 2 years, 4 years, 20 years. And every one of us had to go through that same kind of transformation. What do I do with my hands now? Like you dancing and all the different healing methodologies that you were going through, astrology, astronomy, tarot cards, all those things to find things. I think you're right there the same way every one of these veterans and first responders are in the audience, because they did or are doing the same things at this time.
Yeah. And I don't want to I just want to acknowledge that any trauma that you face, regardless the degree, it will be life changing to you. And some people, they can overcome that, and some people, unfortunately, it consumes them.
Yes.
And I just also want to acknowledge and express my appreciation and admiration to you, Rich, for setting up this show. And when I read your profile on the platform, I couldn't even believe or fathom the things or the experiences that everybody have lived. Be it in the military, in the anything, paramedics, right? And it can be very demotivating. And sometimes when you get overwhelmed by it, everybody seems to feel, mostly we all will feel that we're just sitting in this black, dark pit, and there's no way out. Yeah.
And we call that the darkness here. And if you ever feel like you go into the darkness, call somebody, reach out, get that help.
Yes.
And come back to us. You are worthy.
Yes.
You mean something to everyone in this world, and you're right where you're supposed to be. Where you are is where you're supposed to be, and that's where we like to show people. And
yes.
Now we'll pivot again to another audience question.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. At Purpose Unlocked, as an RTT therapist, what's a common misconception about rapid transformational therapy that you'd like to clear up?
Ooh, thank you for that question. So, a common misconception about rapid transformational therapy is that it uses hypnosis, it uses regression, and it uses these two are the main things that goes into rapid transformational therapy. Rapid transformational therapy is rapid because Marissa Peer, as the creator of this modality, has actually cleverly and wisely imbued several tools that they use in uncovering or unlocking the root cause of an issue. So say, for example, this is why I actually mentioned about hypnosis right from the beginning. It's a suggestibility test. People, when they think about rapid transformational therapy, let me break it down to you, is actually a combination of modalities where you have hypnosis, you have cognitive behavioral therapy, you have mindfulness, you have regression, and then you have neuro-linguistic programming. Now, these are the different parts of what people use in coaching or in therapy. So now why this is being combined is actually, I would like to flip it. It's people think to look at it as misconception, but it's actually a superpower of this modality, because it doesn't just focus on one part of one tool of how to help you solve your issue. Now, hypnosis is a very big part of rapid transformational therapy, and people often get misconstrued by hypnosis. If you see in the TV, you put that pendulum like this, and then you're going to go deep into trance state, and you're not going to have control over yourself. But let me ask you, Rich, if I ask you to go and rob a bank right now, would you actually go?
No.
Exactly, because it goes against your moral compass.
Right.
So that's the misconception about hypnosis and about suggestibility. And people, when you're in that state, just when you're about to go to bed, this is where the beautiful thing about hypnosis comes in, and where rapid transformational therapy starts working its charm. You go into that state, and if you're in a session, would I say, Rich, you need to get revenge against your I don't know, the person that actually cut you off the line today at Whole Foods. You probably say, yeah, I'll probably do that, but not right now, Yeah, but then you will also inside, because this is your subconscious. If you have integrity, you have your morals, and you have your own principle. If it goes against those 90, okay, 99%, you will not do it. So the misconception about hypnosis here is that you have complete control over yourself. It is just that you are in the relaxed state, so that when you go into relaxed state, you're very suggestible into the therapist at the time reinforcing your new beliefs about your life. So let's say you want to stop smoking, you want to stop drinking alcohol. When we go into hypnosis, we unlock your subconscious, we go back to your childhood, we regress and say, tell me, Rich, or tell me, A, why do you think, tell me the first experience that comes into your head when you're in a hypnotic stage. Why do you drink? Normally people will be able, without thinking, because it's what they've been programmed in their head. There must be a time, oh, if I drink this way, if I drink right now, they will remember 99% of the time, the first time they pick up their alcoholic beverage and what meaning they attach to it. And if they say, I feel like I'm not good enough at work or at school because people pick on me. So if I show this bad side by drinking, I feel cool and I feel accepted. Most people, if they just, usually the root cause is just three. People don't want to feel different. People feel different, therefore they feel that they're not worthy. People feel that they're not lovable because of this, and they feel that they're just not enough because of this issue. So if you tie this back into why people come up with all this coping mechanism, and then hypnosis actually helps unlock and make you understand why is this happening every day at this current moment.
Outstanding. So it helps you understand the why behind the thing you do.
Yes.
Awesome. Another one popped in. I think this might be the last one we grabbed. I think there's a few more out there. At Beam Daylight, you emphasize holistic practices in your coaching. How do you integrate these into your daily routine to maintain your own well-being?
Ooh, thank you. Beam Delight. Holistic practices means holistic in my life. So I have this 8, I would say the 8 very different, everybody has different buckets. Okay. But for me, I keep these buckets. So, it's like a wheel of life. So everybody has this points in their life: family, work, business, financial, social, mental, and your soul. So ideally, everybody should have a very smooth, rounded edge touching the wheel of a, let's say, a tire, a wheel. Okay. So when you are not very mindful of your health, you probably experience, high blood pressure. My bet is that the wheel is not going to be so smooth, where health is probably not being, I would say, placed at the highest priority in your life at the moment. So for me, my first goal, or I strive to be, because we're all living, we're all healing, and there will be times when it's like juggling 6 balls, right? There will be times that I have to put 2 balls down to focus on these 3 balls that you're juggling. So at any time, for me, first things first, we have to identify where are these 6 balls in your life, which aspect that you deem very important. And now start thinking which one affects the most in your life if you don't take care of it. My best bet for everybody is health. And That goes into physical health. It goes into your mental health too. Now, health is wealth. We've all heard of that. To me, holistic practices means doing things that supports my health, physical and mental, interacting with my social groups, with my friends, asking for help, talking to people, eating well. Now, I know, and I've always said this to myself growing up, when I was a student, you want to eat healthier, you got to pay a little bit more for it. But then again, I ask myself, why the heck should people, we know that we need to eat the organic stuff, right? But they make it so freaking expensive for us to get it. And it's not just in the US, this is all over the world, where I am in Malaysia too. And we all know what's the story behind it, right? It's all politics and the way, certain organizations, certain industry make a lot of money. Because you take certain things, you put in your body, and then they make you sick, and then you go to them for treatment and you pay sky high prices for it. And this is very rampant in where you are right now, Rich. Yeah.
Yes.
And yes. And it's as a third party, as a person who sees it from a third party point of view, my heart aches for everybody that's actually not that privileged to have that kind of protection or support. But for me, what I can do is try to do things within my control. So every morning, put it simply, my day to day would be me waking up and setting at least a 30-minute time for me to meditate. Now, meditate can be a very woo-woo word for everybody. Meditate means what? What do? You do like this, you do Now, it can actually be anything. Meditation is actually just a simple awareness of your head, of what's actually in your mind. Meditation is number one, is key. Being aware of what goes on in your thoughts. And then number two, get in some movement to your day. And I think veterans, this is your core, right? Your whoever that's focused on very heavy physical work, getting your daily physical routine. Now, for me, as a lady, I'm not a gym junkie, but I actually give my best in when I run. So I do best running, and I lift weights as well. So that's number two. That's the running or doing lifts every day. And number three would be just checking in with yourself. So this is one of the most, if not the most important things that I practice in my daily life. What am I feeling yesterday that I felt crap about, that I cannot control? But what can I do today that can actually change the trajectory of that?
Outstanding. And you just answered a question that I usually ask my guests at the end. The three things you do every morning that make the three things you do every day that make your day better, to help them be more successful or have a better life. You did that without me even asking. Like, you hypnotized me and got out of my you pulled it because you're in the future. You knew what I was going to ask, so that was good.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So now that was, and for the listeners listening, we have not met before. This is not scripted.
No.
Yeah.
I was checking around me to see if someone was whispering to me. I don't know.
Well, so it's working. Okay.
It's working. You got me with that whole reach back thing. I got it.
Yeah.
All right. And what's the best way for the audience to get in contact with you if they want to either pick your brain like I have tonight, or maybe have you on their shows?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Rich, for this platform. So everybody's listening, if they want to reach out to me, everything is in my website. I think it will be included in the show notes. www.thenicnierraswholisticlifestyle.com. I live there, and among all the social media platforms, I also live there. I'm active on LinkedIn, And I'm active on my Instagram. So I have 3 main accounts on Instagram. My main account where I talk about behind the scene, what's happening in my life, my coaching session. And the other one would be the holistic lifestyle. I post updates, or I post right now. It's still being built as we speak. But you can see certain tips about the pain points, most common issues that people face today, and then I give 3 steps on how to overcome them. And then after that, also I have my podcast. I invite experts, thought leaders, talk about their own journey, and I also want to introduce. This is a time for me to introduce whatever that I have working in the background. I have actually an array of digital products that people can actually get their hands on. So if they're not ready to sign up with a one-to-one with me, they can go and purchase that first and have like a book, a journal with them. It's more of a journal. It's actually helping you. It's my method, but condensed in a book form. So you could do it at your own pace. And then before going through all of this, if they want to have an element about hypnosis and mindfulness, it's combined, they can also download 4 of my free hypnosis audio over on my website. And it talks about 4 top issues that we address, which is attracting wealth, how to have uninterrupted sleep, how to speak more confidently, and number 4, how to overcome imposter syndrome. So yeah, this is everything.
Nic, this has been a great chat. 56 minutes flew by. Thank you for being a great guest and answering all the Misfit Nation's questions that came in tonight. And there was more. I just couldn't get them all in there within the hour. But I think you answered a lot of them along the way. So thank you for being so complete with your answers and everything you were doing. And I wish you nothing but the best in your podcast and everything you're doing now.
Rich, thank you so much for giving me the time. And this is one thing that I need to improve. Please don't go off tangent, Nicolette. So yeah, I'll be mindful of that.
Put a sign.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Nic, wrap it up. Well, thank you so much. You're doing such a great work. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
This is a message from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Got a question about your VA benefits, healthcare, or eligibility? Go to va.gov, where you can access a new interactive chatbot to ask questions 24/7. One can still browse va.gov for information, but you can now ask specific questions to the chatbot, like what's the PACT Act? How do I apply for disability benefits? What's my claim status? You can access the new feature through va.gov's Contact Us page. Then click on the Start Chat button. The chatbot will continue to improve veterans' access to information about the benefits and services they've earned. This is one way VA is offering seamless and secure access to its online resources.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.